Alright, hello everyone. I am Fozzie, or Cam, and I'm here with my co-host, as always, Will. How you doing today, Will?
Locked in, Cam and Nick. I see this is a must win for my team, and I look
Alright,
forward
hello
to.
everyone. I am Fozzie, or Cam, and I'm here with my...
Yeah, I see this is a must win for my team this evening. I'll explain that more over the course of the show. So I am locked in, Cam, and how are you doing?
I'm doing really good. I'm doing really good, actually, because our Celtics are doing fantastic. And, as you mentioned, we have Nick here today with us. How are you doing today, Nick?
I'm good. Sorry for the game. Hopefully, Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown, Marcus Smart can play like they did last game, obviously, and maybe Grant Williams and Al Horford can, you know, play defense and get some lucky threes, and we'll be good.
Yeah.
How
And
are you,
last...
Cam?
I'm great. Last game, Rob Williams had a great game for the Celtics as well. I thought that was just fantastic, and he's come out and said his knee is feeling better, which was definitely shown last game because he was just fantastic. So like we always say, we always encourage you guys to talk in the chat because we will always respond to your questions. Um, so yeah, please feel free to comment in the chat. And Will, what are your takes? Well, actually, I'd like to hear your thoughts on last game first because you were not here for the halftime show. So, Will, why
Yeah,
don't you go and just give us your thoughts on last game?
first, thanks to your friend Ben for filling in, and second of all, I was impressed with their comeback in the third quarter. They played like the third quarter team that they are, but like in game one, it wasn't an awfully impressive fourth quarter. And as much as I love Steph Curry and think that he is the reason that we're not down 3-0 in these finals, he had some not pretty turnovers in the fourth quarter, and is great, as he and as good as he played in at times in games 1 and 3, he hasn't been able, or he didn't put together a full 4 quarter game. So I mean, if this is a close game, I need much improved fourth quarter play. And as much as I love him, I need Steph Curry cutting down on the turnovers because he had some costly ones in the fourth quarter.
How did you feel about our Celtics fans yelling "F Draymond"? How'd you feel about that? That was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a part of the whole sports experience, even if I, don't appreciate it against my guy.
I'm kind of
I don't.
disgusted by Boston. I feel like that's kind of awful.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, they could do better, but I also feel like, fans having a hate toward players and stuff and chanting things, maybe don't do it to that extreme. But I also feel like, that's what makes sports. So I love the passion of the Boston fan base.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I mean, more clearly very passionate, and maybe to a fault because that's unacceptable. And as much as disgusted I am with Draymond Green's just petty, awful, annoying performance the other game, Jason Gothard is right. It does build a rivalry. So yeah. Nick, why don't you go here and give us your predictions for this game? Who do you think is going to win and by how much?
I think I don't want to say it, but I think the Warriors might win a close game here. I think it'll be like maybe like 117 to like 113. I think Stephen Curry, he's coming back from he hurt his ankle, right? He hurt his ankle in the last game, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
And I mean, I think he'll come back strong. I'm not sure. I think he can score mid-20s probably. He'll get some assists. I think Klay Thompson will be a big factor for this Warriors team today. What about you, Will? What do you think about the Warriors?
Yeah, I think Golden State will win today as well. I think especially their veteran guys know what going down 3-1 means. So I do think Golden State will win today. I think it'll be another, close game at times. But yeah, I also have Golden State winning this evening. And Cam, who do you have winning in Game 4?
I have Celtics by about, I don't know, 6 probably. And so I just want to ask you, Will. So Stephen Freight said Steph's injury is a factor or not. It seems like you're leaning towards that it's not too big a deal right now.
Yeah, we'll see how he is during the game, but he's going to play. He had no limp or any noticeable pain during practice today. So look, this is the NBA Finals. You're down 3-1 if you lose this game. So I don't expect Steph Curry to have a subpar performance. And yeah, I don't think it'll be too much of a factor.
All right. Steven Freights asks, would you guys yell the F word if you were there? He says he would. I don't know. I feel like that's just that's just not good sportsmanship. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I'm trying to think though if I would do it just
I
kind
mean,
of
you just get caught up in the moment, you know?
Yeah, like caught up in the moment and like I'm doing what my fellow fans of my fan base, like if I was a Celtics fan, were doing. So I hate to say it, but I might be guilty of that if I was there. I think Stephen Freights makes a good point.
Yeah, what would you say, Nick? Would you be doing that or?
Yeah, after that foul on that Tatum that he did in that free throw, I probably wouldn't be too happy. So I might have joined in a few times maybe.
Yeah, and Jason Gothage hopes the Golden State fans chant something at Tatum. Wow.
Yeah, I think it's a good point because if Tatum gets on fire, guy starts getting yelled at. He likes to hate, Maybe he could score some more baskets for us and quiet the crowd down a little bit. Quiet the Golden State fans down.
Yeah, I guess. And let's see, the Celtics have the series wrapped up. Wow, there's no way they can win 3 out of 4 from Boston.
Right. Let me say this. Obviously, the Celtics were impressive in Game 1 and Game 3, but let's think about what the talk was, for instance, after Game 2. And let's say the Warriors come out, have a huge third quarter this evening, and win in the 10 to 20 point range, and then they're home again for Game 5 and 2 out of the last 3 games of the series. I think a Warrior win this evening could totally change the narrative around again. And they'd have home court for 2 of the final 3 games.
Yeah, I mean, I see your point there, but I don't know. I feel like the Celtics just have a kind of an edge right now. I mean, we're leading in the series. Everyone on our team is playing good. My only real concern with the Celtics right now is Tatum's shoulder. I mean, last game he seemed to be kind of favoring his shoulder and seemed like it was kind of hurting. And I just that's just a little concern for me. I'd like to see him kind of watch his shoulder and make sure maybe ice it in the locker room before the game and halftime. But yeah, I think that's my main concern right now is Jason Tatum's health and all our players' health right now. Yeah, but all right. So we do this every pregame show, but who do we think is going to be the player of the game for each team? So, we have another comment from Stephen Freights. Was Clay the best Clay has been in Game 3? Do you think they think that was kind of original Clay that we saw in Game 3?
Yeah, I think it's fair to say. I mean, if it wasn't full on old Clay, it was pretty damn close. So yeah, that was more. Yeah, that was definitely leaning toward more classic Klay Thompson playoff game. And as bad as he looked in games 1 and 2, he did have, I believe, 32 points against Dallas in Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals. So it's not like he was on this big, long slump. It was just 2 games that looked not great.
Yeah. I mean that's totally true right there. But so our player of the game for each team. So for me, man, for the Celtics, I will Celtics player of the game. I'm gonna go with Rob Williams. I mean, he had a great game last game, and now that he's come out and said that his knee is feeling better. I think we're gonna have a great game from Rob Williams. Nick, who do you think your Celtics player of the game will be?
Celtics. So I was thinking before, I joined this stuff and we started this. I was thinking Jason Tatum because all this, he's doing good. He's been coming back. He's started off
What about the
not so
shoulder?
hot.
What about the shoulder?
The shoulder. Yeah, that's what I was gonna get into. So I don't think he'll be the player of the game, but I mean, he's still gonna drop a good amount of points. I feel like, even though like Will said, it's NBA Finals and stuff. He's gonna come back and try his heart out because if we win, it's 3-1 series and we get the series wrapped up. But I think the player of the game is gonna be Jaylen Brown. Honestly, Jaylen Brown, he had a great game Wednesday, 27 points. He can come back and stay hot. I think we have a good chance of him winning player of the game.
And
what about you, Will?
Yeah, Will. Yeah, let's hear it.
I'm gonna go with Jason Tatum for the Celtics. I mean, at the end of the day, he is the best player, and I could, see him going off for a big game this evening. So I'll just pick the best player on the team, and I'll say that Tatum will be the star player for the Celtics.
All right, and
even with that shoulder injury.
What's that?
Even with his shoulder injury, you still think he's going to be the player of the game for the Celtics?
I think this is the NBA Finals, and that he'll play through pain and be very motivated to go up 3-1 in the series.
Yeah,
right, I respect that.
Me too.
Yeah, so I'm thinking for the Warriors player of the game. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go with. I'm probably gonna have to go with Clay. I mean, we've talked about it quite a bit on this episode so far. But he just had a really good game last game, and he was kind of back to like you said, Will. He was pretty close to being original Klay Thompson from before he got injured 2.5 years ago. I mean, so he had a pretty good game last game. So I think we're gonna get more of that today. So Klay Thompson, player of the game for the Warriors. Who do you think, Nick, is going to be player of the game for the Warriors?
All right, so we haven't seen a lot of him in the series so far, but I'm taking a big chance here. It's the Warriors. I'm gonna go with Jordan Poole because Jordan Poole. I feel like he hasn't done too much yet. But I feel like once he gets on fire in this game, if he gets on fire this game, I think Celtics have a hard time stopping him. And then if we put Smart on, we end up changing Smart from Curry, putting Smart on Poole, then Curry will be open, and then it'll be a big mess for the Celtics. I think. So I think Jordan Poole will be the player of the game for the Warriors if he gets hot. What about you, Will?
Yeah, that's a good pick, Nick. Yeah, I mean, that would be huge for Golden State if he breaks out and has his best game of this series so far. But look, even though he had the injury in Game 3, I think Steph Curry knows what's at stake this evening, and I think he's going to step up and show why he's the best shooter in the history of basketball. So I also think they need, a big game from Steph Curry on a night like this to avoid going down 3-1. So I'm going to pick the guy who is the reason that we have a win in this series and go Steph Curry as the star of the game for Golden State.
Honestly, I feel like Steph Curry has a player of the game type game every single he's had that every single game he's played this series. I mean he's just been nasty.
Yeah, I would agree.
Not to be a homer, but to me, he's been the best player in this series. Obviously, the Celtics are up 2-1, but I haven't seen a player in this series playing better than Steph Curry.
I would agree with you, Will. There.
He just hits every shot.
Yeah, there's no stopping it. Even like if you have Al Horford on, he's still gonna find a way to drain the three.
Yeah, and Marcus Smart hasn't been doing like too much on him. He's still
Yeah.
draining
And then
shots.
and then there's Klay Thompson, who's if he's in the corner, everything is going in once it's in that corner three.
Good point.
Yeah, that's his spot right there. And
I have a
let's
question
see.
for you guys.
Yeah.
Do you think so? There's home court. You think home court advantage with all the home fans and stuff? You think that's a big advantage in the series so far?
Yes, I would think
Yeah,
so.
I would agree with you, Ken. What about you, Will?
Yeah, I would say so, but I also, think for a veteran team like Golden State, I don't think they'll be phased to go in and win on the road this evening, and we obviously saw the Celtics go in and win Game 1 at Chase Center. So I also think both teams are very capable of winning on the road, and we've especially seen that from the Celtics this postseason.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and Jason Gothage says in the chat, Will, you weren't here last pregame show, but Jason Gothage says, where are our Algerian friends?
I did go back and watch that show,
Yeah.
and I did see that in the comments. That was pretty fascinating.
Yeah, that was funny. That was really funny. Stephen Fraze says he misses those guys. And Time Lord is healthy, Stephen Fraze. And yeah, that might be... I think that's going a little too far to say Golden State has no answer, but yeah, Time Lord is pretty much healthy. I mean, he said it himself. So yeah, I wouldn't go that far to say Golden State has no answer for that, but I think it's gonna impact them pretty good. So yeah, Time Lord's gonna be pretty good. Like I said, he was my Celtics player of the game. And Al Horford, I think, is going to step up today. I think we're going to get some good defense from, what's his face, Derek White today. Because Derek White has just been fantastic this series.
Talk about an impact player for the Celtics this postseason. He's been really, really, really great.
Yeah, I really was surprised. I mean...
He's a ball player.
He is. Yeah. I mean, I'm just amazed. And I was listening to the Boston Sports Radio, I'm sure you listen to Warriors radio station down there,
Oh, yeah.
And they were talking about the Warriors and Celtics, and they actually said they didn't think that Draymond should be doing his podcast during this whole series, and they say it's a distraction. How do you feel about that, Will? And Nick, actually.
I think it's fine. I mean, it's just like a 30-minute, thing he does after every game. I mean, he's just sharing his thoughts on the game. It's not like he's giving away, game plans and stuff. So I think the podcast is a really good place for Draymond to, air out what he has to say after a win or a loss. So
but do you think he's just focusing too much on it? Do you think it impacts his game?
No, because I've seen great games from him in this postseason, and he bounced back after his bad Game 1 game, and I think he's going to bounce back this evening in Game 4.
All right.
By the way, speaking of his podcast, I've listened to it a pretty good amount now. Whether you love Draymond Green or you hate him, this podcast is fantastic. It is just a exhilarating listen. He's such a smart mind, and the way that he breaks things down, the podcast is a must listen. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, I listened to just a little bit of it today, not much, about 5 minutes, and yeah, he's pretty entertaining. I mean, I can see why he's going on, I believe it's ESPN with Charles Barkley and all
yeah, it'll be it's actually TNT where he'll be. Yeah, he has a contract signed with them, and that's where he's going to be when his career is over. And
I mean, he'll have that and his podcast, so yeah, he's got things going for him right now.
He will be around for sure when he's done playing, and obviously as a Dubs fan, that excites me very much.
And yeah, Nick, do you think Draymond's podcast is impacting his play out there?
I think what Will said was like spot on, but I'm gonna add something to it. I think, after that game he had the other day when he fouled out with 2 points and like 3 assists, he said, like, a few rebounds. I think, getting his mind off that game, doing the podcast and talking about, like, I think I like how he does a podcast. Like, I haven't watched it before, but I will check it out now that I know he has a podcast. But he maybe talks about the game and it gets his mind off how he had a bad game and it gets him going, gets him having a good mindset going into the next game.
But maybe you should stop focusing on the podcast and start focusing on not fouling out with 2 points. That's just unacceptable in a finals game.
Yeah,
and
that is
Jason Goffey says in the
unacceptable.
chat, over under Draymond scoring more than 2.5 points. And
Over.
yeah.
Over. I think he'll have he'll have either 10 or maybe a little higher than 10 points today. I think after that game 3, I think he'll want to bounce back and, chill a little bit with the fouls and play Draymond Green basketball.
If anybody knows how big a game this is, it is the Warriors' ultimate competitor and the heart and soul of the team, Draymond Green. I think he's going to have a big game this evening.
Yeah, I think because, Stephen Curry, Clay, and Draymond Green, they've all been in this situation before, been in the finals with Cleveland so many times, So I think if they play the way, they played when they played the Cavaliers in the finals, I think the Celtics will have a tough time defending them. And going back to that Derek White thing, I think, if Derek White, if it's like tie game, we need a quick basket, we need a 3 or something, I say we give the ball to Derek White. I think
totally
Derek White's the man. I think Derek White's the man to give the ball to in one of those situations because he's been hitting clutch threes. He's been doing good. He's been fire this final series, I think, because he's playing amazing defense too. I think he's just a really good player right now.
And huge, obviously, down the stretch in game 1 with the threes that he hit. Huge, obviously.
Oh yeah, they were huge threes from Derek White. You can tell he's been putting in the work through the off season and all the practices and stuff.
And Nick, I have a question for you, actually. Oh, what were you saying? No,
I was just calling Derek White just a major impact player for the Celtics this entire postseason.
For sure. Even, he's
I
a
would
bench
agree.
player, and he's just been nasty.
Yeah, I would agree with both of you.
All right, Nick, so here's my question. Who do you think's been better this series? Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown? I'm going to go with Jaylen Brown, but I'd like to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Jaylen Brown too, because Jason Tatum in that first game he had 12 points if I'm correct.
That's just not.
But he
not
also
acceptable. I mean.
Yeah, but he also had 13 assists that game too. So I'm not gonna complain because 13, that's 2 points or 3 points every time. It's around 26 or 30 points that he gave to the team with his passing ability and giving them open shots. But he also had 12 points on his own. So that was good. And Jaylen Brown played good that first game too. But I think Jaylen Brown has been the better player this series so far because Jaylen Brown played an amazing game Wednesday. And, I don't know if he can stay like that. I think Jaylen Brown might be, if we win the finals, so has a good chance. Him or Tatum, obviously, getting the finals MVP. What about you, Will?
Yeah, I totally agree with what you both said. Yeah, I would go with Brown just probably played, a bit better overall. And look, if the Celtics won the series after game 3, Jaylen Brown probably would be finals MVP for the Celtics.
Yeah,
now
for sure.
Now, I would ask that question about the Warriors, but I think we all know the answer. I mean, just Steph Curry. There's no one to compare him to.
Oh, without question.
Clay is great, but not even close to being on the level as Steph.
I would agree with you, Cam.
Clay, yeah, sorry, Nick. Go ahead.
I was just saying I would completely agree with you and Cam on this one.
Yeah, with obviously Clay played better last game, but Jordan Poole has not put together a full game yet. With the way Clay has overall struggled in this series and Jordan Poole as well, and the fact that Draymond Green is not a scorer, I want people to think about where this team would be without Steph Curry. If he was not playing in this series, the Celtics would be up 3-0 right now with how poorly Poole and Clay have played at times. So the Finals MVP and the best player for the Warriors is without question Steph Curry. I mean, they would not have a win if he hasn't been playing the way that he's been playing. So for all of you Steph Curry haters who say he shrinks and
I don't think you have any Steph Curry haters in this podcast right now, Will.
I'm talking about Skip Bayless and all those idiotic folks.
Yeah.
But for all of you people out there, think about where the Warriors would be without Steph Curry in this series. It would not be.
Yeah, think of where they were last season when they. I mean, I know Klay Thompson was hurt and Curry was hurt after the season, but think of what happened when they didn't have either of them last season, about their record and stuff. And how they played without Curry and Klay.
Without question, Nick. Yep.
And Jason Gothage in the chat says, Brown is that's really his only fault right now. He is a turnover machine, and he really is a turnover machine. But that's like the only problem I've seen with him all season, or not all season, all series. But yeah, I think that's gonna about wrap this up. It's 9 p.m. Eastern time. And it's almost time for the game. The game usually starts a few minutes later. And Laurie Naven says, I would definitely say the F word. I believe that. But yeah, Nick, thank you for joining us on this pregame show. Will, it's been awesome as always. And everyone, thank you for talking in the chat. And we will see you at halftime. Goodbye.